So, um, in the preview video, you talked about Islam's avoidance of materialism. We can circle back to that as you like talk about the response, just to provide some context.
hmm
Uh, how does this mindset affect you as a business student, where branding and materialism are crucial? Do you feel like at conflict between like your religion and your aspirations as a business leader in the world?
I would say that, I think I might have said in the preview something along the lines of Islam calling upon charity, on not just taking care of yourself and believing that, I'm the center of the universe, I'm the protagonist of my story, everyone else is a side character, but that it's sort of like trying to emulate certain qualities to build a community while also improving yourself. As a business student, I'm gonna be honest, I don't have that many like materialistic aspirations. I don't know if I'm not gonna say that that's primarily because of Islam, because I just generally do not see myself spending 80 hours a week, in investment
At
banking or
Goldman
consulting.
Sachs, Goldman Sachs, 80 hours a week,
Yeah.
or McKinsey and
Mortgage.
Co. Yeah.
But, I guess a better response to that question would be like, what if I do want sort of those things? Like, what if I really enjoy that lifestyle? Like, what if I want that fancy car, that nice house, and the nice stuff? I would say that having that desire is perfectly okay within Islam. That, it's okay to like actually want these things. Like, this world isn't just like something where you're supposed to feel miserable. You're like, oh, I can't touch this. Like, no, nothing for me. I'll just have a bed and maybe some water. But, it's just that you don't
The
let
warm
those
Buffett.
things take control of you in a way. Like, I'm not I'm not allowing my desire for materialism be my only goal and be my only responsibility. Like even at the time of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, like there were people that were wealthy in his community that were Muslims. Like the first leader of the Muslims after the death of the Prophet, peace be upon him, was actually someone who was wealthy, who did gain a massive amount of wealth just because he was good at being a merchant. But he did not let his materialist he did not let the wealth that he have inhibit him from following in the prophetic tradition, following in the responsibilities that he had.
So like materialism, I guess in a sense, like might be like misinterpreted. Rather, like materialism isn't a personality trait that should define you. Rather, it's just like a desire that you can act upon outwardly, rather than something that you could look at within. Like it shouldn't define who you are, or uh, rather, it should just be something like you want to do because it's just a bonus of certain outcomes.
And also, like regarding money, if charity is a big part of Islam, and from what it seems it is, I mean, you have to make wealth in order to give wealth. So I think they can intertwine. On one hand, yeah, you know, having the material is good. Material, well, not materialism is good necessarily, but being able to generate wealth is a good thing. However, in order for it to really be a good thing, you have to also use it morally. In this case, you can give it for charity.
Yeah, it's not the stuff that you have, it's what you do with that stuff, and also how much personal value you place on that stuff, whether or not that's your overarching purpose, whether or not that's just one piece of who you are.
And you shouldn't let that stuff show about you. You should not let that define who you are. As you should not let yourself define materialism. Um, I think like there are like a lot of parallels between I can't really speak for Christianity, but for I guess Judaism and Islam, given like the perspective on wealth. I know there
Yeah,
are a lot of stereotypes, but like overall, like just like we have this thing called tzedakah, which is just like our version of charity.
yeah.
It's nearly the same thing.
And then necessity is like giving more
Kind
than
of.
you're legally obligated to
So
in the covenant.
yeah, yeah, and like I mean, maybe this is just inside my bubble, but like it's obviously like a stereotype that like a lot of Jews just care about like money, but like at the end, like as with that, like it's centered around charity. and is centered around good works because again, like even though money might just like intrinsically be a part of who we are, it doesn't define who we are, and rather it is just a part of a whole that is much more vast.
Yeah. And it doesn't, I don't want like my whole spiel about, charity, good works to be like misconstrued in a sense that, you can't enjoy anything in your life in Islam or that you're not allowed to, have certain like materials like this phone, for example, or any sort of desire for more stuff in a sense that you can enjoy. It's just primarily just making sure that you don't let that control you and that you're able to still follow the responsibilities that you have.
Yeah, it's like an enhancer, not necessarily a dependency.